Hello. I'm going to go over the updates as of September 8th, 2024. I created an alternate version of my automation. This is a lot more effective. It's including a lot more trades, and it's getting your exact stop loss and target profits put in on the exact level of how I designed this strategy to work. So the alternative version, the first one that I came out with, was an ATM strategy. Where essentially you had to use NinjaTrader to set up. Um, you could set up your maximum stop loss distance, and then your stop loss would be placed only at that spot. So pretty much the main difference with this is it's going to create an OCO strategy. So order cancels other strategy. So essentially you're going to, upon the signal firing, you are going to have an immediate stop loss placed, which will be, say if we're in like a long position, there's like a long somewhere around here, it'll be placed below the lowest low that happened before that strategy fired, and then with a slight offset. And then so you'll have a stop loss here, and then you'll have a take profit uh, somewhere up above. And so one of the main things that I added most recently was a dynamic place for a target to be met. So with just like the default settings here, let's start off with that, and then I will get into more of how I created the dynamic take profits into this strategy. Um, and so, all right, so just kind of jumping on in. To get your trades automated over to your NinjaTrader, you have to type in whatever your account name was. So let's say it was Sim101, and you want to test this on multiple, you just put a comma, Sim102, whatever the heck your name is. So if you're using an Apex eval, you would type in, I don't know, Apex and then a whole bunch of numbers, whatever. And go from there. And then if you wanted to put it on multiple accounts, you would just, Apex again, whatever numbers, and then associated with your account that you have with them. And then say you want to also put it on a sim account so you can track it. You can put as many of these there if you want. Don't put anything else except for the name followed by a comma if you want to have it put into more than one account. Now, if you just want on one account, you just put the one account name, whatever numbers, and leave it like that. Now, this is the ticker. This is the NinjaTrader ticker name. So whatever is associated, whenever you pull up a chart in NinjaTrader, at the top left, it'll say whatever ticker you are looking at. Just make sure this matches exactly. There has to be a space in between, and then followed by the contract of the current contract, essentially. So right now, if you were to do this on NQ, you would do NQ space and then followed by the contract expiration date, which is currently September 24th. So this contract is going to be expiring. I think this next week, I believe. I think it's somewhere right around the 15th. But anyway, whenever that does change, I'll just have to change this over to 12/24. I believe is the next contract expiration date there. So essentially, yeah, you just want to, I'm just going to go ahead and type in the sim account that I've been using to test on. I am looking at NASDAQ at the present moment. So we are trading futures. If you're going to keep this on futures, just keep it as futures. If you want to trade like crypto or something, or any stock that's based off of the dollar, you would just put dollar value here. And then you can choose your contract type. So if you're trading futures, this is for you. You would just have to pick, like I'm looking at the NASDAQ currently, and so I would click on NASDAQ. This is just going to, this is all for your position sizing. As you can see, it's in the position sizing group. Now I want to risk 10% of my drawdown. So my drawdown for an Apex account is 2,500, and so I want to risk 10% of this, and so that's what these two numbers are stating here. Now, if you wanted to, so this is all the functions that are going to be sent over to your NinjaTrader once you automate. So let's say you want to take buys and sells. Let's say you don't want to take any shorts at the present moment. You would just toggle this off. That'll take away all your short trades that are being sent over to NinjaTrader, and vice versa. If you don't want to take any longs, you just click that on as well. So here we're going to define our overbought and oversold levels. At the present moment, it's stock standard will come as 70/30, which is the basic overbought and oversold levels. You can customize these. Like if we're in a more bullish condition, I might bump this up to 35 or 38. And then overbought level, I might change this to 78. So I'm taking more aggressive longs and less aggressive shorts is pretty much what this is going to be doing here. Now here, there's a bunch of optimizations you can toggle on for both the long signals and the short signals. You can have price has to have consolidated a certain amount. You can have an additional EMA crossover condition within this. You can have a couple of momentum signals here. So ADX must be rising is pretty much what this is saying. Oversold condition, another momentum based. We have a volatility expansion consolidation condition. Volume must be significant and using higher lows only. So these are the long conditions, and then it's pretty much the same except for lower highs on the short condition. So this is just going to really optimize your entries and exits. If I pull this strategy tester up at the present moment, we have 341. Now I'm just going to go back to what the stock standard was, because you may or may not be using that in the specific time period. So as you can see, this will update. We have 344 trades currently, roughly a 50% win rate. And then as I toggle some of these on, let's say I want to take less aggressive shorts, so I might want to optimize and just use lower highs. As you can see, it bumps up our win rate and our profitability and negates some trades, but overall we're making our trades more profitable by doing that. And so you can kind of just toggle these on and toggle these off, see what works best for you, and in that specifically on the time frame that you're looking at and at that specific time period that you are looking at. So these will, majority of the time, these will significantly enhance your profitability and win rate. So whenever I'm using these optimizations, I normally just look at one at a time, and I can just see the numbers for the shorts versus not wanting to see the ones for the longs at all. So as you can see, shorts at the present moment are not profitable. We toggle on a couple of these conditions. We immediately get up to profit. You can toggle on something like this and see how they work in tandem with each other. So if you have multiple of these clicked on, multiple of these are going to be getting, like all of these conditions that you toggle on have to be met within the same condition. So if I toggle this off, now we're just looking at volatility expansion, which seems to work pretty well. Let's try the volume significant condition. That didn't seem to help too much at the present moment. Normally these work pretty well in tandem, and if not those, then these two work pretty well in tandem. So we have a trend filter and a momentum filter. My favorite one, of course, if I'm just going to go with the default, is always going to be trade lower highs, trade higher lows for longs. So we are looking at the 5-minute. Longs have been a lot more profitable than shorts, so that is the reason why there. So if we were to toggle this back over to longs, we'll see a nice net profit, a good percent winner there. If I toggle on maybe higher lows, maybe this helps our win rate out a little bit, but negates a lot of trades. And so since longs are already being profitable, I don't really want to be super aggressive with the optimizations that I'm using. But you can kind of play around with these really easily and see how they bump up your win rate and your net profit. And also not negating too many trades is the ideal way to go about that. So let's see if this helps any here. It makes it roughly all about the same. It does bump our win rate up with some of these. And on different assets, they will affect differently. Like at least at the present moment, like if I was looking at gold here, this is like a #1 optimization for gold at the present moment. Just buying super oversold conditions. We're already using an oversold, but this is like a little more aggressive of an oversold condition that seems to be working really well for gold at the present moment. So these are all interchangeable. You can apply these to all different assets, all the micro contracts that I've listed here, and then these three. I can add in more if desired, but I wanted to keep this, like you don't need 20 options to automate on, in my opinion. And then of course, if you're using dollar value, you just completely ignore this, and it will base things off of the dollar. So, and it'll use your account balance and how much you want to risk per trade for that dollar amount. So we're looking at futures at the present moment. So I'll just kind of stick with this. Let's say we want to make long or shorts more aggressive, so we would raise, or less aggressive, we would raise this up here. Kind of see what that did to our profitability. Maybe we lower it just a little bit and kind of go with something along, something along these lines. You can even raise it up a bit higher since shorts have not been very aggressive. And as you can see, now we're at like a net pretty much net even. Maybe we add an optimization or two onto this and see how this is affecting current conditions, see if we have any enhanced luck. Now again, shorts have not been profitable, and there's a good reason for that. We've just been in a very bullish market. And this is on the 5-minute time frame. If you go down in time frames, let's say we're looking at like the 1 minute, you'll see a large difference in let's go even lower than that. Let's go at the 15-second, because you can use this. And so now we're just taking shorts. As you can see, shorts with these current conditions and the last couple of days, week or so, has been extremely profitable, and that's with no optimizations and nothing along those lines. So anyway, that's an introduction to the optimizations here. Very easy to use, very customizable scripts here for longs and shorts and different time frames. It'll all work the same. Now, if you don't have either of those toggled on, you won't be taking any trades. So pretty much once you make an Apex account, you'll put your Apex account name in this box. You'll put in whatever ticker you are looking at, like the NASDAQ. Now, just to reiterate, this is the NinjaTrader name, ticker name here, not the TradingView name. Okay. This will automatically calculate your appropriate position size. So as you can see, sometimes we're buying 1, sometimes we're buying 2, based upon what our risk parameter was. And so now let's go on down to the risk management settings. We've made it to the optimizations, and those are all very straightforward. Nice explanations are in the compendium. Once you purchase and you're a part of it, you have in-depth explanations of what all these optimizations will do for you. So here I included a maximum position size. It's more so for like if you're trading micros than anything, because you obviously don't want to be buying 50 micros when you could swap over to the like you don't want to be buying 50 MNQs when you could just buy 5 NQ, because that's really going to eat up your profits and the fees that you pay. So this is really just for that. So if you're on like a 50k eval, set it to whatever your max is for you. Like if you're trading micro contracts, obviously you don't want to be buying 100 contracts. That's just gonna, you're gonna spend like $100 in fees or something like that. So you definitely don't want to be doing that. So this is really just to minimize your fees. Now, if you are cognizant of what asset you're trading and what time frame and your points of risk and everything, then this is really kind of an irrelevant feature. But it's also there just to make sure that you're not buying 100 micro contracts, for example. So this should not be, it shouldn't be close to the numbers that you're seeing here. In my opinion, I would just set it, keep it at 5 or keep it at 10 or something along those lines, because if you're buying more micros than 10, you might as well just swap over to the full size contract and then just buy 1, minimize your fees. So that feature is there just as a little added security, so you're not spending a crap ton in fees. And so minimum and maximum stop distance, these haven't changed from the previous version of the strategy. You're going to be only going to be taking trades that are within these points of distance. Now again, if you're trading dollar value assets, this is going to be minimum dollar and maximum dollar. It's the exact same concept, just majority of us will be using this on futures, so I put everything in points here. And so another feature that I included here was a risk to reward for different stop loss levels. So as you can see, we have a maximum stop distance here. So essentially what I did was I created 3 different areas to put our target price at, our take profit at. So these are in R values, risk to reward. And so essentially for a small stop distance, I want to be targeting higher in profitability and our risk to reward. So as the default settings come, if it's a small stop distance, we're going to be targeting 2.5R. If it's a medium stop distance, I'll be looking at 1.5R. And if it's towards our maximum up here, we'll just be looking at 1R. So this is really just meant to increase your profitability as well as increase your win rate. So instead of having just one risk to reward value that we are looking at between these two stop loss distances, we're going to be splitting it up and then taking, so like for a small stop distance, it's going to be within our first 25%. So in this scenario, it would have to be less than 5 points of risk in order to start targeting 2.5R. And for the medium stop distance, you can think about this as median. So whatever the middle point is between 0 and 20, is where we're going to be targeting 1.5R. And then anything over the median, we're going to be targeting 1R. So these are the default settings. Obviously, you can change these around. You can make these all the same too. If you really just want to target 1.5R all the way around, this will target 1.5R for every single trade. And so these are user input settings that allow you to customize your risk to reward based upon your stop distance. So again, these are all fractions of your stop distance is how they are defined in here. And so again, if you just want to, just target 2.5R for all the stop distances, which is perfectly fine, then, you can do that, or you can split it up into fractions of this and potentially increase your win rate. Now, as you can see here, over on these list of trades, we're going to be risking the same amount. So as I have it up here, we're going to be risking 10% of whatever this dollar amount is in here. So this is $250 of risk. Most of our trades will be right around 250, or risking 250, give or take a little bit of variation, just dependent on how many contracts you had. So this is a rounding value. So on MNQ, it'll be a lot closer to your 250 number. For micro contracts, because you can buy 9 instead of a full 1, you know what I mean, or you can buy 7 instead of a full 1. So these are being rounded up to be close as possible to your desired risk, which is, in this case, was $250 per trade. Now, again, on top of that, since we have these different functions in here for setting our profit levels, we're going to be getting different profits out, which is, in my opinion, that's ideal. Based upon your stop loss distance. So as you can see, sometimes we get 1R, sometimes we get 2R or 2.5R in this example, and 1.5R is pretty much what this is. And so as you can see here, it really changes our profit per trade, but it also is optimizing for how many points of risk we have associated with that trade. So I really like this new update feature. That's going to be the bulk of what this new video is. Now again, if you just want to target 1R all the way around, just change all these to 1 and you will have nice standardized numbers here to look at. All your trades are going to be set at 1R, and your risk to reward, so your risk is also going to be 1R. So now again, if you swap over to the micro contracts, these numbers will be pretty much right on the dot of, whenever you change contracts, you have to ensure that you change this, otherwise your numbers will be very skewed. So let's see. Alrighty. Oh yeah, maximum 5 position size is what's throwing these numbers off here. So obviously we don't want to just buy 5 MNQ, which is what all these numbers are set at. So let's say we want to buy a maximum of, let's go with 15. Now this will maximize, so you want to have most of your numbers below 15. Some that are 15 is, that's perfectly okay. But as you can see here, we are targeting 1R. All of our trades are just about $250. And then if you change this back to 2.5 and 1.5, you'll see hopefully some increased winners here. So still, as you can see, this one capitalized a little bit more, and kind of just going through. As you can see here, we have a lot of these at 1R, which is perfectly okay. And let's say we want to change that to 1.5. Now, as you can see, our lowest winner here will be 1.5R. And now if we have a very small stop distance, it's going to automatically update to 2.5R. So let's see if we can find an example of that. That'd be probably roughly $500 or so, or I don't know, 600, somewhere around there. So you can see it hasn't happened too much here, which is pretty interesting. But as you can see, it's adjustable based upon what you would like to do here. So now again, you may want to drop this down since we're looking at the 15-second, and maybe that would change your output of 2.5R versus 1.5, and that sort of thing. So anyway, very customizable to different time frames and different points of risk, setting your maximum position size, different R values for different amounts of stop distance. And then kind of just moving on, these features haven't changed. You can turn off certain days, like say you don't want to take longs on a Friday, you can just toggle this on. You'll no longer take any long signals on a Friday. And same for shorts. If you don't want to take shorts on, I don't know, let's go with Sunday, you can just toggle those on, and now you won't take any shorts on a Sunday. You can turn off specific times of day for your strategy. So say you don't want to take any morning trades, that would be toggling this guy on. And if you want to customize these time frames, I put 15-minute intervals here, so you can toggle on and off any time of day that you don't want to be taking trades, pretty much. And you have two options for this. If these are toggled off, you don't need to worry about them. I have this one preset to like just before the market closes. And this one would be like for market open. So also there's two other features here. So these will turn off trades for the US market open, and these will turn off trades for the end of the day, pretty much, because this has a lot of volatility and this has almost no volatility. So this is, and it's just targeting different points of where there's mass amounts of liquidity, where you could just get like a stop loss hunt or altered results than you would expect, essentially. So I normally keep these on. I normally don't have those off ever, just because they're kind of safety features into the script here. But same thing for shorts. You can turn off specific times of day for shorts, and this will apply to every single day. And so that's up to you. There's also a couple of other filters here, so you can make sure that an EMA is crossed on a alternate time frame than yours. So you could set this, as like a higher time frame. I want to make sure I'm trading with the 1 hour 921 EMA or the 55-200 EMA or something along these lines. These are just going to increase your win rate, ideally, if you set it up correctly. And then say if I wanted to toggle that on for longs, I would just have to click this button here. And that sort of thing here. So same thing, if you want to make sure that stochastics is crossed up on an alternate time frame. So we're looking at the 15-second. Maybe I want to apply this to like the 2-minute time frame. I only want to take longs when the 2-minute stochastics is crossed up. Now, as you can see here, our cumulative profit out of all of it jumped up a good fair bit, another grand or so. And so that's just an added feature here. So also on top of this, I included an RSI control zones filter. This is for another time frame as well. So we're looking at 15-second. Let's say I don't want to take any longs that have, like RSI is being oversold on the 1 hour time frame. It's pretty much what this is meaning. Or I want to change that to the 4 hour time frame, or whatever time frame I really want to look at. As you can see, that really jumped up our profit level there. And so this is just going to be avoiding certain time periods that have RSI in that specific control zone. So for longs, we don't want to be taking longs when this time frame is in an oversold condition. And because that's essentially telling us that bears are in control there. Why would we want to be taking longs when bears are in control? And then vice versa for shorts. So these are just all added, and if you would like to use them, that they are there. This is meant to boost your profitability and your win rate overall. And then also I built into this, you can have like a daily profit limit. So say you want to profit $1,000 in that day, or whatever number you want to put in here, you can have the script shut off after it has made that amount of money that day. And then same thing for your loss limit. If you want to stop trading after, let's say you lose $500, you have 2 losses in a row or something along those lines, you just want to shut it off and make sure, it could just be a bad day. Markets could be changing, taking a lot of profit, whatever it might be. And you can set limits up for yourself here. You can also enable max trades per day. So say you just want to take 5 trades per day here. You can do that pretty easily. Just enable this on, specify whatever number you want to look at, and then go from there. So that is pretty much the script here. Very, very user friendly for automating over to NinjaTrader, or if you want to trade, have it apply towards stocks. This is a very good script to automate on. Now we are getting lots and lots of signals. So this is 465 trades in less than a week, 5 days or so. So as you can see, as we apply optimizations, ideally to increase our win rate, then we would be negating some of those, which is what I would recommend. You don't really need to take 500 trades in that amount of time. We want to boost our profitability, boost our net profit, and boost our win rate by using these optimizations, and also these optimizations down here. So I like to normally stick around 100 trades at minimal. Anything above that is just going to make these numbers more accurate. But I don't really want to go below 100 trades there, just as a little piece of advice. You want to have a nice amount of trades to trust these statistics more. And so, yeah, pretty much this is my Ryle of Quant Automation order cancel other strategy. So I won't, it's currently Sunday, so the markets are closed. Otherwise, I might show you a live example of how it's implementing, but that is a nice rundown of it. So in just a couple hours, I might record another video of it operating once the markets open up, and put it on a real low time frame so you can see hopefully several iterations of it. But yeah, that is my new updated script here. A lot more dynamic of a script, so targeting different target levels, as well as having dynamic stop losses, just offset past the previous high or the previous low if it was a long. We're trading only with the trend here, so we're only taking longs in a bullish environment and only taking shorts in a bearish environment, which are designated by your EMAs here. And I built a compounding oscillator based upon like 3 different volatility metrics and 2 different trend metrics, as well as 2 different momentum metrics. Do I have that pulled up here? Yeah, so this is essentially what the oscillator looks like. And this script is just trading with this with these automations essentially, so, or with this oscillator. So this is several indicators all compounded into one moving oscillator. As soon as we get a color change, that's essentially stating, hey, we're having a bullish momentum, bullish trend, and bullish volatility metric all being met at the same time, which is how I built this automation strategy to perform and get a lot of trades, for example, be a nice net profit. There's ways to boost this up to 60, 70, 80 percentile win rate if you would desire. I tend to lean more towards the higher R ratios. So, really, I don't want to go below 1 ever. And I like to stay between the 1.5 and 2.5 ratios for this. So this is really to optimize for any time frame that you might desire, and execute your automation script into a NinjaTrader platform to be able to automate your prop firm accounts and create daily passive income essentially. So yeah, a little bit of this, you're going to have all of your trades put onto the screen here, as well as you'll be able to look at all the trades that executed in the past very nice and easily. And then on top of that, you can see statistics that are generated in seconds of time, and be able to look at, I don't know, your ratio of win to loss, your largest winning trade, your largest losing trade, your percent profitable for longs and shorts. It generates all these numbers for you in seconds, and that's how I built the script to work upon previous price action, historical price indicators, to be able to forecast the future in a profitable way, and to be able to build automation for you to occur, and for it to take every single trade and that meets those designations here. So getting quite a few trades in the last couple days, 3 winners in a row, 4 winners in a row, followed by 1 loss before the market closed. That was on Friday. So anyway, I think that's a nice introduction to the script here. I hope that this was informative, and if you're interested, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat with you further, or any questions you may have, feel free. There's on my website link, which I'll leave in the description, there is a way that you can sign up through Calendly to essentially set up a Zoom meeting with me. Feel free to sign up for those, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have based upon the script here. So on top of the script, it also comes with at least 10 or 15 videos of how to use it, what the optimizations mean, how to set up your accounts to NinjaTrader, how to set up the automation. I have step-by-step protocols for, so it should be nice and simple. It should take you ideally less than a few hours to set up your first script and become familiar with it. So feel free to reach out and yeah, chat with you then.